This is another rant that might be a little niche and very particular to a very particular group of people, but it's what I'm feeling today. It's what I'm feeling. I've been thinking about it for a long time. Don't mind my dog panting in the background. Uh, Gifted and talented children. Like, who the fuck? Like, nobody told us. Nobody told us life was gonna be this way. Like, being an adult that was a gifted and talented child, and you still are, right? Or like a high IQ, or someone that was identified as having a high IQ as a child. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say a bunch of y'all, like me, have crippling clinical anxiety. And you're looking back over your life and you're just realizing, like, oh my God, this entire thing has been such a shit show. Such a shit show. Like, at what point was I an actual kid? Did I ever, like, you know, my birthday is coming up. My 29th birthday is coming up. And I've always had this thing, like this fear of the passage of time. Since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, I'm like 8 years old. I'm like, I got stuff I gotta do before I'm 13. When I was 13, I'm like, I got stuff to do before I'm 16. When I was 16, I'm like, I got stuff to do before I'm 20, because then I'm not a teenager anymore, and that means I'm old. And like, especially like in the entertainment business, you know, when you're trying to come up and like be a child star and the next, you know, JoJo or Beyonce or whatever, and you got everybody telling you that 20 is old, that being not at like anything above 19 is old, and that 19 is old, that 18 is old. Like, holy shit. For background, this is not a flex. It's kind of a flex, but for the purpose of this video, it's fucking not a flex. I was identified as a gifted and talented child very early. They tested my IQ and they're like, you have a 140 IQ. She's a genius. You need to challenge her. You need to, you need to give her things that, to challenge her mind, that are a little harder than for everybody else. And my fucking God, did they rise to the goddamn occasion. Holy shit. I grew up so fucking fast. I had so many expectations placed on me. So many that I remember like having anxiety at getting an A-. An A- was failure to me. A- was like, I might as well get an F. You know what I mean? And this was at 11. At 11. Oh, by the way, when I was 6, I was in 4th grade. I was 3 grades ahead, because they were like, challenger. And then you got my fucking dad, my fucking black Republican dad over here, trying to make me into the next Beyonce, him being totally Matthew Knowles, making me fucking hate music, making me fucking practice hours a fucking day. You know, expecting me to be the next pop star and join the Air Force and become a fighter pilot and do all these things and carry our family to fucking glory. And so what did I do? I fucking internalized that shit, and I have not stopped working. I realized that I never stopped working since high school. In high school, I got involved with so many fucking things. I was an AP scholar, I did theater, I did JROTC, I did track, I did basketball, I did student government, anything to avoid going home. First of all, anything to avoid going home. I worked my fucking ass off. I would be at the school at like 9 p.m., whether it was practicing for something JROTC, but usually it was theater, which I fucking loved, but still, stress, right? And then I go to the United States Air Force Academy, which of course is expected of me because it's, one of the top schools in the fucking country. And so if I didn't make it, into the academy, I probably would have been just as well as dead to my crazy dad. So thank God I made it in. and I go to a school that's literally designed to break you down and make you fail. If they literally said this environment is designed to make you fucking fail. And if you get to the end, then you're a fucking superhuman, and that means you deserve to be an Air Force officer. Cool, I did that 4 years, non-fucking stop, right? Get into the Air Force, go on a year-long tour around the world because I got selected for special duty because I can fucking sing my fucking ass off. I come back to a new boss who decides to sexually fucking harass me and make my life a living hell, stalk me. I'm living in fear. I'm living in survival mode for a year and a fucking half, shutting down, not eating, not sleeping, complete reversion back to childhood, right? Do that. I get out the military, but you know what? If I'm not working, I'm not worth anything. That's the idea that's been instilled in me my entire life. So what the fuck do? I make sure that the day I hang up my uniform and leave the Air Force is the same day I get on a plane to New York, to my new apartment, this apartment, sleep on the floor, wake up the next morning, go straight to fucking work. Straight to my first fucking job out of the military. And then I leave that job because the boss is fucking crazy. I go to another job and the stress is so fucking awful because it's yet another fucking toxic work environment. And I literally work myself into the hospital and I hit this wall. And all of a sudden, all of this motivation that I had, all of this intellect and shit, all of this, all of this energy that I had that I was forced to put out because I was a gifted and talented child, because I was a high achieving IQ child, because I had so many expectations pushed on me. Oh, don't forget my dad disowning me because I had PTSD and because I started calling him out on shit about his responsibilities. Don't forget that. So we're dealing with that. We're dealing with trauma from childhood. All this shit. And I hit this fucking wall. And I'm at this place now where I'm like, I can't go back to work. Where I hit this point in my disability where I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I never stopped for 15 years. I never stopped working. I never stopped busting my ass for other people. I never stopped people pleasing. I never stopped for 15 years. And I've been, I have been a stay-at-home wife. Outside of being a TikTok star, I've been a stay-at-home wife for like 8 months. And I always think about this wall that I hit, like my body crashed to the point where I literally had no choice but to focus on my mental health, because there was literally nothing that my body was even capable of doing because I hit that fucking wall. I hit a wall, like there's no energy left, and I'm turning 29. Like, are there any other, kids, adults out there that had a similar childhood that can relate? It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely insane. Like I said, looking back on the time and realizing this was such a fucking shit show. I never relaxed. I never focused on myself. I don't even know who I am. I don't even know who I am outside of doing things for other people, improving myself. I don't know who the fuck I am when I'm not proving myself. It's insane. So the point of this rant, I guess, is to if there's anyone else out there like that, I feel you. It's crazy going from, being this this child with a 140 IQ and you're glorified and oh, you can You got the world to gain, to being this tired ass adult that has done too much, that has been spent. It's such a crazy contrast. And I'm sure there's other people out there like that. And now we're in therapy, maybe for the rest of our lives. But if there's any parents watching this, if there are any parents watching this that might have some gifted and talented children, take a look at me, listen to this rant, and know that this is a possible future for your fucking child. Hearing these same words, or at least them thinking it, these same words from your child, if you put too much on them, because I don't care how fucking smart they are, they're still a child. They're still a child. And they deserve to have a childhood. They deserve to have a childhood and not grow up so fucking early. That is not something to be glorified. That's not something fucking good. It's a trauma response, motherfuckers. Let them be kids. Challenge them, yes, but let them be fucking kids. Because you don't want them to turn out like me, 29, looking back and can't remember any time that I actually felt like a kid, like after what, 8 years old maybe? 8, 9? You don't want that for your kid. At least I hope you don't. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe me, honestly, fuck you, because it's true. Fuck you because it is fucking true. I am not afraid to say that. Fuck you because it is true. Your kid deserves to have a fucking childhood. Do not put the pressure on them that is traditionally put on gifted and talented children. And God help them if they're a gifted and talented black child. Holy fuck. Then you gotta be a representative for your race, and you gotta be the first black person to land on Mars. Like you, Jesus Christ. Let them have a fucking childhood. Don't let them end up like me and countless other adults looking back and wondering where the fuck it all went, and trying to heal the inner child that literally never got to speak out.